Today's episode of Arch Rivals is brought to you by
Acme Escorts. If you're looking for a hot piece of tail or just willing to explore the world of interspecies erotica, you can trust Acme Escorts to explode all over your face and leave you sexually confused, you furry bitch.
What the hell was that?
Sponsor!
That's our sponsor? Seriously? What am I supposed to do with that?
You do your job.
Or what? You'll fire me? Bullshit! Hey, I'm a Maroon with ArchRivals.doc, and today I'm gonna put some merry in your melodies and talk some Looney Tunes at you. I love the Looney Tunes. I grew up watching them, and for like 80 years of ever-growing popularity, many others have been doing the same. How do I know? Several decades of merchandising generating more revenue than that revenue generator I'm currently building in my mom's basement, patent pending. And as my frugal but sexy ass won't spend a dime on these toys or trinkets, I'm not passing any judgments on you collectors out there. In fact, I admire your self-control. Because if I'm paying for overpriced figurines, then I'm damn sure gonna play with them. So according to this internet thingy, there are people on the planet that are not me. Interesting. And many of them are more than willing to spend massive amounts of CH cash on... What? No way. Really? Wow. Going back and watching these cartoons as an adult, long after my inner child choked on my innocence, I noticed a few things that did nothing but cause me to pick apart the Looney Tune world and ask the question, why? A lot. And think way too hard about something only you care about, Aries!
But that's not how it gets views on the YouTubes.
I know, but sometimes I just want to talk about Looney Tunes. As a wee lad, cartoons are my favorite thing. Even though the cartoons of my era were essentially 22-minute commercials broken up into 2 11-minute promotions and accompanied by 3 advertisements. Compare the old merry melodies to shameless plugs like Rubik's The Amazing Cube and The Adventures of Teddy Ruxpin, and you'll see a blatant difference in intention. The whole point of those cartoons was to sell toys. But not Looney Tunes, It was special. It felt different. Right from the start, the Looney Tunes theme song winds up and punches you in the mouth. Take a second to remember that in your head. Now remember old Disney cartoons? They're so soft. Bugs and Mickey came out around the same time. You gotta remember that. It was just like Biggie and Tupac. And Mickey's crew is so hokey and by comparison lame. Mickey's all, oh boy! Shut up, rat! What are you so happy about? And then Bugs is like, yeah, ain't I a stinker? Because that's what dicks say when they've done something shitty, all snarky and rhetorical. Because Bugs Bunny is an asshole. In fact, all the Looney Tunes are, and that's what I like about them. And as far as Disney goes, I'm a Donald Duck man, because he's like Walt's asshole. And that song mentioned earlier is a Clifton Friend and David Franklin jam, hitting the charts all the way back in 1937, introducing the world to the magic of The Merry-Go-Round Broke Down. To avoid confusion, or if anyone's just curious, Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes are all in all the same thing. Merry Melodies are often music-themed, but really, you're buying the same crack. Aside from that, Looney Tunes didn't get viewed in color until 1943, whereas Merry Melodies had been colorized over a decade prior. There are a crapload of Looney Tunes characters. You'd be surprised how many of them never made it to a t-shirt. Now, some of my favorites were the few and far between. I favor the less popular tunes like Charlie Dog. Here we have a down-on-his-luck animal just looking for a home, that's all. The buddy just needs a home. One problem, Porky Pig, he's a dick. Because, say it with me, Looney Tunes are all assholes, yes. And Charlie here is good at it. He's also full of shit, claiming to be several different breeds of dog, usually bothering Porky Pig, who is also an anthropomorphic animal, which explains his reluctance to move Charlie in. Damn, dog! That's like letting some homeless shit-talker live with you because of his several different cultural backgrounds. Get your life together, Charlie. Why can't you be more like Barnyard Dog or Sam the Samurai Sheepdog? Quick shots, number 1, go! Fun fact, Speedy Gonzales is the fastest mouse in all Mexico! Speedy's original design had him looking like a little thug rat. Red shirt, not white, no big-ass hat. But he did have a big old gold tooth. You hood rat, hood rat. Later on down the line, they gave him the mariachi look, complete with sombrero. But hey, you switch that hat, and he looks just like the cooks at Denny's. Speedy Gonzales, banned from the Cartoon Network for a minute there, due to complaints about dated racial stereotypes from real-life actual warriors, inflicting justice socially. I know for a fact it wasn't the Hispanic community complaining, because we don't do that on a large scale, poquito. Mexicans love Speedy. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Yes, love.
Do you love Speedy Gonzalez? She said yes. Quick shots number 2. Anyone else remember Tasmania? With the Tasmanian Devil, or Taz, being one of the most popular Looney Tunes ever, even to this day, was given his own standalone animated sitcom. So from 1991 to 1995, we 90s kids and a few adults were given the opportunity to delve deep into the life of Taz. Up until that point, he was known as a ravenous, mindless eating machine. We get to see Taz live, play, work. We even get to meet his immediate family. I find it odd that the rest of his family doesn't speak with his trademark snarling and growling form of communication. They play it off as a speech impediment or possible mental condition. Either way, hilarious. I urge you to check out the show if you can find it. Excellent theme song sang by the one and only Jim Cummings in the worst Australian accent possible. Absolutely worth a watch. Quick Shots Part 3, Movies! Space Jam. How best to explain? Okay, so one day these interdimensional beings are invaded by an alien race from outer space. Not normal space, but like the outer space from within their reality. Still with me? Fantastic. They travel from their pocket dimension located in the center of the planet to the main reality to kidnap a legendary athlete in hopes that he will battle a team of talent-infused extraterrestrials on their behalf, so that our protagonists don't have to spend their immortal lives in the cage of a two-dimensional cel-shaded Danny DeVito. A few thoughts. Okay, if you're able to kidnap this hero, he probably can't help you. See, you need him to overpower the monsters that are overpowering you. So if he can't stop you, and you can't stop them, then he probably also cannot stop them. Probably. I don't know why they need Michael. I mean, for the movie, yes, I get it. But for the plot of the movie, not really. The Toon Squad are durable enough to be invulnerable to death. They take a beating, but basically invincible. They have reality warping abilities and can manifest objects by willing it into existence. Jordan can't do that, until he can. But they didn't know that, or did they? Add omnipotence to the list of powers these assholes have. I could do a whole video about this movie, but I won't. Looney Tunes, back in action, is stated by critics and fans of the franchise as being a movie. Despite mixed critical reception, the film was a major box office success, grossing nearly $100 million in the US alone, and for almost 2 years it was the highest grossing non-Disney animated film ever. Shh, secret fourth shot. Nasty Canasta. I just like his name. How is that not the name of a rapper or the name of a rock band? Dibs! And now, the Book of Sam. Which makes me wonder why certain groups of oversensitive people didn't ban other characters from the Cartoon Network, like violent little hicks who can't not pull the trigger. You see, Looney Tunes are often portrayed as actors, almost like a bunch of players in a theater group. They often broke the fourth wall, showing us what these tunes are doing when they're not starring in animated features. This being the case, Mr. Samuel Rosenbaum, or as his dedicated trucker fanbase knows him, Yosemite Sam, is the worst method actor of all time. Hey, get out of my ass. I know they all kind of play themselves in every role, like the Sean Connerys and Robert De Niro's of the animated world, but Yosemite Sam is the rootinest tootinest, and because of this outlandish personality, it's kind of difficult to fit him in certain time periods. Each part he plays just seems like a time-displaced cowboy fell out of a time machine, so roles outside of the Old West look real out of place on old Sam. No matter what part he's given, despite the where or when, he's just Yosemite Sam, a violent little flame jumper looking to murder a few varmints. You'll have Bugs Bunny playing the part of Bugs Bunny, in I don't know, like ancient Egypt or something. Not saying Bugs is Hebrew in this scenario, but he's definitely Jew-ish. Hold on, I am not gonna say that joke.
What's wrong, Nancy? Does it offend you?
Yeah, asshole, a little bit.
Oh, why? 'Cause it's racist?
No, it's because it's stupid.
Well, I'm leaving it in.
So if Bugs Bunny is playing an oppressed Egyptian, then of course mean old Pharaoh is played by Yosemite Sam. And he'd be like,
I'm the rootinest, tootinest Pharaoh in all the Egypt.
And I'd be like, sorry, Sammy, I'm not buying it.
Sam segue into Sam and Ralph.
One of my absolute favorite merry melodies to watch as a kid was Ralph Wolf and Sam Sheepdog. So many questions. Is being Sam and Ralph a job? I mean, the basic idea is that Ralph is trying to steal sheep, presumably for consumption, and Sam's job is to stop him. And by stop him, I mean kick the shit out of him. And do they get paychecks for doing this? They have an actual time clock that they punch into every morning with actual time cards. So if Ralph is getting paid to steal sheep, then first of all, he sucks at his job. I've never seen this guy pull one sheep. And second, what does he get paid in? Sheep? Who's his boss, the big bad wolf trying to get a monopoly on the sheep market? These shorts are really creative and genius with almost no dialogue. One of my favorite bits goes as follows.
Sam Sheepdog is asleep. I'm Ralph Wolf. I'm gonna get me some sheep.
But the sheep he abducts turns out to be Sam Sheepdog in a sheep costume. No worries, the sheep thief is just a sheep in a Ralph Wolf suit. That's okay, the current Sam Sheepdog is just a Sam suit worn by Ralph Wolf. As the plot thickens, Ralph Wolf turns out to be a sheep in a Ralph Wolf costume, which works out perfectly because the most recent Sam Sheepdog is actually a Ralph Wolf looking to score some sheep. But the sheep is obviously the real Ralph Wolf in a slim yet baggy Sam Sheepdog costume, prompting fake Ralph to reveal himself as a sheep to the true Ralph Wolf, only to find out the sheep is just a stick of dynamite in a sheep suit. Boom, brilliant shtick. But wait, there's more. Just before Ralph Wolf gets blown to smithereens by this overconvoluted hate crime, the time clock whistle blows, the shift ends, Sam Sheepdog extinguishes the explosive, and wishes Ralph a good evening. Wow. What a roller coaster. Sam Sheepdog, by the way, is a beast. He's strong, he's clever. You're not getting one over on this guy. Give it up, Ralph Wolf. Maybe it's a metaphor, and Sam Sheepdog is Jesus, and Ralph Wolf is the Nah, probably not. Ralph Wolf carries with him a very recognizable yet unique design. I mean, it's not like he looks just like Wile E. Coyote, but with a red nose. Speaking of Wile E. Coyote, you see what I did there? I'm a big fan of Wile E. Coyote. And as repetitive as it is, I get it. The struggle to always want what you can't have works surprisingly well as a cartoon short. And don't get me started on the cost of Acme products. I imagine they cost more than a feral coyote can afford. I can see him now waiting in the line, all pissed off, just waiting his turn to curse out the customer service associate.
Sure, what seems to be the issue? That catapult was actually manufactured by the Roadrunner Company, a branch of Time Warner. I believe your complaint is with them, sir.
The Coyote might actually be a test dummy for Acme products, or maybe Wile E. Coyote is Acme, and he's the first to test them because he invents them. He is a super genius, and the guy can obviously afford a meal. So this Roadrunner situation has personal written all over it. Beep Beep, which is the Roadrunner's actual name, is a freak of nature. There's not a Roadrunner on the planet that can outrun a wild coyote. Maybe this genius is just trying to study this anomaly bird with the active X gene. My favorite episodes with Wile E. Coyote involve Bugs Bunny. In this frame, Mr. Coyote has a little bit more going on with him. They gave him an intellectual voice and a business card to present to his prey. Still the same fella, but the voice makes him sound so much more arrogant. And he's a Looney Tune, so... Asshole, wait a minute. Maybe Wile E. Coyote is a metaphor for the... Recommended eye crack. The entire Looney Tunes collection can be purchased via Computor. If you're a super fan, it's a good buy, given the infinite amount of hours available in most collections. A personal favorite, the Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, is exactly what it sounds like. It's like Scooby-Doo tossed the keys to the Mystery Machine to the oldest lady ever and said, "Rud-ruck, Rady." The Looney Tunes show has been my favorite modern take on these characters to date. I've seen everything from Lunatics Unleashed, which is okay, all the way to Baby Looney Tunes, which is not. But the Looney Tunes show is 112% worth a watch. It's played like a normal day-to-day sitcom, with Bugs and Daffy acting as the odd couple trope on one of these, "Oh, these guys are so different, how could they be friends? What? They're roommates? But one's a cross-dresser and the other one's a duck. Talk about breaking the glass ceiling." Spoiler, they make it work. Daffy Duck is not just one of my favorite Looney Tunes, but one of my favorite characters of all time. He's Duck Damn Dodgers, for Christ's sake, and that's another good watch. Everyone knows a Daffy Duck. One in every friend group. And if you told me right now that that's not true, then I would tell you that it's duck season, and you're the Daffy of your circle, you stupid duck. Daffies never know that they're Daffies. Go back and watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, if not just to see the badass Donald v. Daffy piano duel. That movie crossed over so many copywritten tunes, studios had to strike silly deals and negotiations with each other. In the previous stated duck-on-duck ivory key battle, it was declared that there could be no clear winner between the two. Later, Bugs and Mickey show up together, Mickey looking to assist the protagonist of the film as he falls to his doom, and Bugs looking to screw over the private investigator by handing him a faulty parachute. Acme. And of course, Bugs is an asshole. Disney and Warner agreed neither toon would receive more screen time than the other. So many characters we won't talk about today, but I'd like to, but I don't want to, but I'd like to want to. Like that overly polite couple from Goofy Gophers. Clyde, Cat, and that time those two mice convinced him he was dead. Oh, that floppy-eared puppy that puts Clyde on the ceiling. Aw, why does Warner hate cats so much? Check out Hippity Hopper. That's a boxing kangaroo that Sylvester thinks is a mouse. So, if you want to see a cat get dinked up, we have that. Not to mention those episodes always feature Sylvester Jr., which is a total bonus. Mark Anthony and Pussyfoot are what's up. Pepe Le Pew needs to learn.
No, signifie no.
Marvin the Martian didn't have that name until decades after his creation, because if you're gonna put him on a hat, you gotta call him something. At the time of his creation, horror sci-fi involving alien ants was all the rage. So Marvin was gonna be a space bug named Antwerp. I like the design we ended up with. I'm so oblivious. Initially, I didn't even see the connection with Mars and Marvin's Spartan armor.
He's dressed like Mars,
Yeah, I see that now.
the Roman god of war.
I know, I get it. Believe you me, there is so much more we could talk about when it comes to such a legendary dynasty, but I can't cover it all. In fact, I won't. I'm not even gonna try. I don't need your praise. Please love me. And since you made it to the end of the video, you might as well get consent from your like button and click it before you stick it. You can even leave a comment below me. I won't see it. Reading is for nerds. The truth lies here, young viewer. And whether Bugs, Roger, or Oswald know it, that's what the bunnies do. A quick shout out to my Toon Squad. That's duck season, kicking ass and taking names over at Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, which is a game.